Thanks, everybody. So today, I'm going to talk to you, of course, about how do you get along with the other departments. First, I want to ask, how many people in here get along perfectly with sales, product management? You're high-fiving in the hallways. Sales is inviting you to their Super Bowl party. Product is sending you Spotify playlists. Anybody here? No? Okay. Oh, we got one right here. Everybody's asking, are you hiring? So I think that everybody can constantly work on aligning better with various departments. And if it seems like you're aligned, somebody new's going to join, a new VP of sales, new VP of product, maybe they're going to disrupt that. Second, maybe some people are harboring these feelings. Like they might be saying into a meeting that you present at, yeah, that makes sense, that's interesting. But meanwhile, they're unfriending you on LinkedIn and they're not following you on Twitter anymore. So I think, just quick background on Clearbit. We're a B2B SaaS company. We're a data company. We supply data to a lot of marketing and sales teams. We're about 100 people right now. And I've worked with companies about this size. I've worked with small startups that are about 10 people. I worked for Hewlett-Packard and Amazon. And I found that this is a problem no matter where you are. And I think one of the reasons that it's a problem is that there is no clear definition as to what product marketing is. It's really something different. I mean, this was not like a platonic idea that was descended from the heavens, and it's like product marketing, right? Product marketing is something that we created to be able to fill in some gaps in a business. And it really differs depending on what company you work at. So if you were to maybe go to school for marketing, you might have had some type of definition like this, or maybe you Googled this when you got a product marketing job and you saw something like this. And it's essentially, this is the very academic definition of product marketing. It's about doing research. It's about, looking at competitors. It's about talking to customers. It's about looking at the data, in-app data. It could be looking at market data. It's about doing pricing and packaging sometimes. Sometimes it's not. It's about doing messaging once you have a lot of that data and once you've really talked to all those customers, and positioning. It's about training your sales team if you have a sales team. And then last, once you've sold the product, you've done some of the marketing help, maybe you rolled up your sleeves and wrote some of that copy for that marketing department that needed help. It's about looking at, who's retaining, who is upgrading, how did it all go, right? The challenge is product marketing rarely works out this way, right? I don't care what somebody on LinkedIn is telling you. It rarely works out this way. There is no one product marketing. Product marketing, you as product marketers are fixing things. You are going in and filling gaps. And that's going to really depend on where you work. So for example, how many of you in here have a sales-driven culture? Okay. I guarantee in a sales-driven culture versus like an e-commerce company where it's credit card sales-driven, you're going to have salespeople asking you to do things, right? They're going to be asking you to do PowerPoints. They're going to be asking you to train them, right? Does this feel familiar right here? Okay. You can't get away from that. If you don't like that, you need to go work somewhere else. Go try a consumer company. Go try a e-commerce company. Okay, how many of you in here work for a self-serve culture where it's credit card sales only? Nobody? That's more something I see when I talk to on the West Coast. How many of you are in a hybrid model where it's both self-serve credit card plus sales-driven? Okay, everybody at lunchtime give those people a hug because they got a hard job. Because they've got both salespeople saying, you got to listen to me. Then they got the product manager who maybe even never even worked with salespeople before. They came from some consumer company saying, listen to me, right? It's schizophrenic. You don't know who to listen to. Now, if you're working for a self-serve company, chances are this product manager is used to working with product marketers that help them, maybe at a consumer company, do more research. You're going to be looking at the data. You're going to be looking at in-app data. You might even have to learn SQL, right? And you're doing a lot of work with them. You're helping them out because that's what they're accustomed to. Okay, how many of you work for a marketing department where they know nothing about the product? Right? You're probably going to be filling in gaps for the marketing department. They're writing all that content about what coffee you should drink as an accountant on that blog. They're having events where no one's allowed to talk about the product because that's not cool, right? You're probably going to be helping out because somebody in sales or product needs help with that. So really, our responsibility is not to just do what we've done before. Our responsibility is not to do what the product marketing department did before you came on. Our responsibility is to be business people, right? We have to look at the business. We got to analyze the competitors. We got to analyze the customers. We got to say, like, how do we make money here? Is it salespeople? Is it credit card sales? Which one has a greater proportion, right? You know, is that going to change? And then we got to tailor our approach accordingly. So a couple questions that I think you got to ask yourself when you're kind of coming up with one of these plans. And this is whether you're starting a product marketing department or you're joining a product marketing department or a new leader joins. You should always be asking these questions of yourself. Is your business self-serve? Is it sales-driven or what? Because you're going to have to really change what you do depending on that. Second, how are people resources allocated? This really impacts product marketing a lot. You know, do you have a small marketing team? Are they really focused on top of funnel? Well, you probably should help out a little bit or advocate for the marketing department to change. But that's going to take a little bit more time. Been there, figured that out the hard way. Second, sales. You know, maybe the sales team is huge and your marketing department's small. Well, you might need help there. What if you have only 2 product marketers and you have about 20 product managers, right? You're going to have to change your allocation accordingly or go ask for more resources. Are other departments flailing? You've really got to be an empathetic person as a product marketer, right? And that's why you're probably in the job. It's because you're naturally empathetic. And if this other department's flailing, marketing, sales, product management, don't just let them drown. You know, help them out. You're a team. And then last, you know, ultimately this is all about how you can grow the business, right? It doesn't matter what the textbooks say product marketing is. It doesn't matter what the cool new way of doing product marketing is. You are there to help grow the business and generate revenue, period. So once you kind of have an idea of what your vision is for product marketing, you need to go align with the other departments. And this never ends. This is something that you do every quarter, preferably every month. You should be doing it when new people join the department. Maybe there's a new VP of sales, a new VP of product management. They're going to turn things upside down. And find out from them, hey, what has product marketing done in the past for you? You know, at your past job, what did you really like that product marketing did? What did your friend tell you their company does in product marketing that you really like and you envy? What's some blog post you read that you think product marketing should do, right? Find out from them like what they think product marketing is and try to get out of them like, do you think this will really help our business? Are there pains that can be solved by us concentrating on pricing and packaging because you read that's what we're supposed to do? If not, you know, maybe we need to renegotiate that. Talk to each of these department leaders, but don't stop there. Because today, we're not just relying on leaders anymore. Many of us have been raised by our parents and the people coming up under us the same way, that we're all special, right? And we all want to have a say. We all want to like contribute. So you need to be talking to everybody because that intern today that you think you can dismiss their opinion, they might be VP 2 years from now. So, you know, this is a band from Austin, Texas, Spoon. I think this song is a song you should keep in the back of your mind as a product marketer, particularly as you align. If you got no fear of the underdog, people that aren't just leaders, that aren't just your boss, you won't survive these days. So really, it's about having empathy, okay? And we really aren't the product marketing department. We're the department of empathy. We have empathy for our customers. We have empathy for other departments. We have empathy ultimately for this business that we're all working for. We want to see it do well, right? Even if that means we have to do things we won't want to do sometimes in order to get to somewhere where we want to be. So when you create this plan, a couple things I recommend doing. One is you should create an overview of what you think PMM should be, right? And this could be something that you could be starting a product marketing department for the first time, or you could be, you know, revamping the product marketing department, or maybe you just want to check in with a new leader. Let them know what PMM should handle. And then this one right here I learned at Envision, which had a lot of change, right? They had the self-serve and the sales model. There were different leaders kind of vying for product marketing's help. We had a very small product marketing department. We found that creating percentages of time spent in each of these disciplines helps so much to set expectations, right? So if you go to, say, product management, you go to sales, beginning of the quarter, marketing, say, like, look, we want to be able to do all these things. There's only a couple of us, right? And we can only spend, say, 20% on helping the marketing team, 30% on sales enablement. Would you be okay with that this quarter? Because we have a lot we have to do. Get that alignment, get that buy-in up front, and then at the end of the quarter, report back and say, like, look, this is how we spent our time. Next quarter, we might be able to shift it up, you know? Might be able to take a little bit of that time from sales, move it over to product management, you know? Or marketing, we might be able to help you out a little bit. Or, look, we just hired somebody. We can do a little bit more. And then there's always going to be disputed areas. This is the thing that I don't know if you all deal with, but I do. And You want to do everything, right? You want to do all those things on the product marketing list, but somebody new joins. Let's say it's the new CRO. You like to handle pricing. It's your passion. They love handling pricing. So you're going to need to dispute that. You're going to need to like negotiate it, right? And so you'll say, maybe we'll do it together. Or maybe be like, okay, you can handle it, but let's report back in and see how it went afterwards. Maybe I'll do the next one. With product management, a lot of times it's, do they want you to handle research? Do they want to handle research? Do you want to do it together? Maybe you were aligned with the VP of product that you do it together, and then some new product manager joins from some consumer company where they do it all on their own, and they want to do it. You've got to constantly realign. Last, this is the one I think we all forget to do, and that is ask what you want from them. You're amazing. This is why you do this job. You are both right-brained and left-brained, one of the rare people like that in both the marketing department and the rest of the company. You are not a services organization. You are a leader, okay? And so tell them what you want to. Maybe that's telling product management, like, look, let me know before you do that quiet little release in that agile way. Let us know. Let's work on it. We can make your thing better. Tell sales, hey, if you change pricing and packaging, or you change your territories, or your comp plans, let us know because we can help you with that. So you want to present your ideas to these departments. You want to get their feedback. You want to come back with mutual ideas, make it a negotiation, a collaboration. And then this is something I think a lot of us in product marketing forget to do. If possible, maybe you have the CMO do this. Maybe it's at an all-hands presentation. Maybe it's a readout. Maybe you just put it on Slack. But try to get this information to the rest of the company. Because I guarantee there's either somebody today in your company or that's going to join that doesn't understand what PMM does. And they're going to start questioning why you exist. So you need to let them know. And then last, when these new leaders join, you got to realign with them about all this. You got to start over. Because otherwise, you're going to get this kind of radio silence, right? And this is not what you want. You want those high fives in the hallway. You want those good connections with everybody. And alignment never rests. Never does. This is constant. And I think it's like relationships with our significant others. If you're not improving it, it's going down. So you constantly be checking in with all these departments. And so one of the things I think that's important about all this is your hypothesis as to what you have, what you should do as a product marketer that quarter, that year, forever, could be wrong. And you got to be humble. You got to be self-aware enough to evolve it and admit. Like maybe you told product management that you should own research, right? Because you really thought you could do a better job of it, and then you got overloaded and you could only help the sales team. Well, you got to admit that you were wrong because that's going to build trust. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
I love that Jeff just told us we were all leaders, right? So easy to think we're like serving. That kind of gets on my nerves. I'm glad we're leaders. Questions for Jeff? All right, someone's got a question. Oh, over there? Okay, good.
Thank you for this presentation. Excellent insights. So you mentioned that you have to look at your business and understand where are the gaps. Can you give us more insights on what you are doing at Clearbit?
Sure. So when I joined Clearbit, I found that a lot of the product managers had come from consumer backgrounds. And many of them had never worked with the sales team before. And sales was asking for certain things. They were, saying like, hey, we need help with this. We got some feature ideas. And this was really I'm not used to this at, Facebook or wherever I worked. And so there was a gap there to help do that for them. So one of the things I think we've tried to do in product marketing is allow product management to focus on, there's a lot of work to do on shipping products and research and so forth. And so we're trying to help a little bit more with some of the training activities on the product. So we have to be extremely well versed on the product, features, how to use it, outlier cases, use cases. We almost have to play like marketing consultant. Fortunately, we sell MarTech, so it's not that hard, right? It's not like accounting software for dentists or whatever, but we know the persona, we know the tools, and so we can actually help train the salespeople on the product, which can take a lot of time, as you know, for product management. So that's one example. Yes?
I'm going to give you the microphone so everybody can hear.
So not being a new product marketing manager, we started the department very strategically, and it's kind of fallen to be more of a sales support function. Would you have any advice on how to kind of start resetting those relationships and expectations to be more strategic and, set that leadership position when you've already kind of gone down another path?
Is your organization completely sales driven, or do you have credit card sales?
Sales driven.
Okay.
And we report to the CRO.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Is marketing reporting to the CRO too?
Yeah, the whole team does.
So 20 years ago, if I wanted to influence a CRO, I would say our competitor's doing this. You can still use that tactic. But now what I do is say, hey, some other company you really respect is doing this, right? So you'll know what that company is. It's like Apple or it's Cisco, whoever they constantly bring up what they're doing. Like, why don't we do more of this? Try to find an example of one of those companies having product marketing have more of a leadership position. Find some blog post that was written by a product marketer in one of those companies, find a video, talk to them, find out how they did it, but use that case because we're all peer influenced and typically leaders are too. So that's one way. Second way is I had a boss tell me one time, look, you can do whatever you want, other stuff, but you got to do the work that I ask you to do first. Right? And as a product marketers, we can get pulled in all kinds of directions because we're usually generalists a bit. Show the leader that you've been able to conquer everything they asked for that was very tactical, and say and I'm willing to work nights and weekends on this more strategic issues if you give me a chance, right? One of the things that works are you in a technology company okay. One of the things that I learned really late in life that works well in technology companies is to put things in writing. Whereas I thought it was get up front, present slides, or have a conversation, I think technology companies are reading cultures a lot of times, and also video cultures. They don't necessarily want to have the meeting. And so if you can present a proposal that's very strategic with data, both customer quotes, which is important, as well as more quantitative data, and show that you can think strategically in written format, I'm finding that's working more and more these days. Mm-hmm.
Got a question over here. Hi, I'm Erin. I work at Verbo, which we established yesterday. And we are having this exact conversation. So it was quite a serendipitous presentation for me. I'm interested in how you think at Clearbit or in your past around strategy. So we have a brand team that has brand strategy, but then it kind of goes all the way over to the product team. And there's nothing kind of in between around customer strategy, market strategy, market fit, all of those areas on the consumer side. And so I'm on the consumer side of the business. So I'm interested in anything you've done or anything you've seen work related to defining the strategy associated with product marketing, kind of going the upfront strategy, not necessarily the go-to-market comm strategy. That's a no-brainer. It's really more that upfront market fit component that I feel like we're all very often struggling to make sure we have input into early, so that we're not just catching it on the back end.
So this would be for example, researching gaps in the market, researching what competitors are doing, researching what customers want, looking at the data
Exactly.
to then help figure out what kind of products we should build.
Yeah, and then how do you
before we even launch.
Way before we launch and way before we even get to the product requirements, right? And so there is just this push-pull around product feels like, they want to own product strategy, but they don't have they're busy shipping products. So they don't have time to go, kind of really do the forward-looking stuff. But we're having some friction because I think the word strategy just tends to bubble up, for a lot of people. So interested, and y'all find me at lunch if anybody else has any solutions to this, but interested in just how you've positioned the strategy that product marketing is driving versus the strategy that the product team is driving. Yeah.
And I know there are a couple of experts in here. I think you're an expert in thinking about product up front. I would say that if that is not the culture for product marketing to handle that in the company, it's really hard. It's probably the hardest thing to change, to take ownership of. One of the things I think it helps to do is educate people about how product marketing is done at other companies. In consumer companies, when product marketing was creative, like Procter & Gamble, 100 years ago or however long it was mostly about that. It wasn't about necessarily training the sales team like it is today for a lot of us. It was about doing research and actually coming up with the product. I don't even know why it was called the marketing part of product, but it was almost more like product development and customer development, right? And so I would share some of those writings, some of that work, some examples of companies doing that and the value of it helps. The second thing is bide your time. I've dealt with this before where product was like, no, we don't want to hear from you. This is what we do. And then I will find out that they have something on the roadmap that they don't have time to do research around. And I'll be like, hey, I just kind of did this, little bit thing, like kind of soft pedal it over to them. And like, they're like, thank you, I needed this. And like, make it their idea. And like, then they're going to start coming to you for more help around that.
I think we're on the exact same page. So no silver bullet. I got all that. Would welcome any other feedback. Thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Well, thank you. I don't think is there one? Did I see a hand? Okay. Well, let's grab on to the next one. Thank you so much. Another